Hello and welcome, my name is Plantain Jackson. This is another Terra Tech video. Today I'm going to be teaching you guys how to do basically what I have in front of you. So since the last episode I was doing a little bit of farming basically. We got the final pieces to start fabricating stuff, and that's what we've been doing till we got enough of these auto miners. Auto miners are the key here. As always, if you like my videos, please remember to like and subscribe, and remember that I post here on YouTube once a week. I also post on Twitch every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 8 p.m. Central Time. I'm just gonna give you guys also like some general tips and tricks. So some people who are watching this series are probably watching this for the first time and don't really know much about Terra Tech. So it's basically a free roam car RPG sort of builder game where you go around and there's a whole bunch of enemies and resources and different types of blocks, so you can build your own cart, and off of this cart, you can keep upgrading and keep adding defenses and guns. Like you see, this guy right here is pretty well equipped. Well, that took a lot of like grinding and fighting against other mechs and stuff like that you find randomly around the map. So you spawn as a small little mech, you fight your way through a lot of the missions that show up here on the top right. As you guys can see, I have a couple on my stack right now, and what you really want to focus on when you first start is doing the crafty mic mission. And so the game takes you through a couple simple little missions where it just guides you through building your first mech and kind of expanding on it a little bit. But as soon as you see the crafty mic stuff, you want to start going into those, because that eventually unlocks what we have here behind us, which is the miners and a lot of resource gathering. So this will allow you to get a lot of cash. Like you guys see, I'm almost to 1 million in relatively a short amount of time. So you go around, you see bots, you fight them, you gather their parts, try to keep them all if you can, because they do become pretty valuable in the early game, because you're going to be trading in those parts for some resources to build more advanced parts after that. So after that, let's say you finish all the crafty mic stuff, you're going to want to look for one of these, and I'll take you to them right now. Here we go. This is an iridite outcrop. And basically what this is, it's a resource you can find along the map. Now, the trees, the yellow rock you see back here, these are all resources that you can mine and potentially sell for gold. And if you refine them, which is another step in the farming process, you'll get more gold. So what we're going to do real quick is we're going to pick up our old farm and we're going to move it over here to this area, seeing as it's pretty generous with iridite. So we're going to try to get as much iridite as we can. One mechanic in this game that you have to like wrap your mind around real quick is that you can anchor your bots. Like when I first started this episode, you guys could have seen that my bot was anchored on the lower left side. Now the anchor has to be pretty low to the ground, so just be cautious about that. And behind me right here, you guys will see that there's a little icon right here that says Anchor Tech. So the Anchor Tech is what's going to attach you to the ground and allow these solar panels to extend, and you'll start charging. So anyways, going back to what we're doing. So we're going to pick up all our resources here. So the way to pick up a cab or an item that you have on the floor is you're going to right mouse click them, and then you're going to hover over send blocks to inventory. Now there's a couple options here. This is if you had an AI, this is how you set it to defend. This is how you just tell them to stop and wait somewhere. This is how you would drive one of these AIs. So if I switch here, it'll put me right on it, which is an important trait for later, because it's important to have your auto miners with the ability to move them, because if you hit B, it'll cause your miner to kind of float around here, and you can move them specifically, which is a useful technique for when you're trying to auto mine stuff like we're doing here in this four miner pattern. Now the more common way to mine stuff is just set up one and let it roll. But if you set up 4 in a way where 4 of them are touching the root of this, so basically around the green, it'll extract the resources from this vein of material 4 times quicker. So it's a big advantage. You can get more money for less time. and that's the goal. So trick is, you're gonna see in the bottom of your auto miners there's 4, right? In this 4 pattern configuration. I recommend this configuration. Maybe if you can get these closer a little bit, then I would recommend that. But this is like my quick and lazy way to do it, and this is good enough for what I do. So you're gonna see these red dots. You want to line those red dots with the green on the floor as close as you can. These things are smaller than others. Sometimes they're bigger than others, so it's kind of hit or miss. I'd say as long as you get 3, you're fine. 4 is like perfect. Now, we landed. We only got 2 auto miners attached, but only one's actually extracting resources. So we're gonna move up and shift a little bit up and plant again. So press B, move up on the WAD key, and press up again. So now we have 2. So I think we're good on this direction, right? So I think we can move back a little bit, and this can be kind of tricky. You can move around and back till we get something going with 4. That's 2. Okay, so that's popping that out. That won't, and you hear that sound, that means it won't anchor. You're in an uneven area, and it won't anchor. Okay, close. Hey, not quite. Almost. Alright, so we got 3, which is sometimes good enough. It depends how much time you really want to put into this. Given to the amount of veins that we have, I think 3 is fine. Alright, so we're going to go jump back to the side. We're going to pack this guy up, seeing as we only have one of them. So he's going to get sucked up by this guy right here, which is an anchored SCU storage device. Very important if you guys want to keep your items in your inventory. You just plant this sucker down. What it does, it charges up. If you guys saw, there's a little circle, as in the area that it has effect for that green. You plant it down, and basically after it charges up, it'll constantly be picking up items and storing them into your inventory. Alright, so next example of this, we're just gonna drive. We can't drive it because we don't have a cab, which is fine. We're gonna go ahead and try to move more of these to the other veins. And I'll fast forward through this so you guys can just, you guys will just meet me once I'm set up. So a quick tip, I didn't really cover how you like get to the root of these. You just pretty much shoot them down, and they'll blow up and give you the root. So real quick. This is another little good tip you could do for when you're doing a lot of farming stuff. You really don't want a heavy bot to like navigate around. You really just want a small little fast bot like this, so you can move around pretty quick, set up what you need to set up. So real quick, let's explain what's happening here. So before, you guys know that we had roots here, and basically what we're doing, we're having the auto miner pull the material out, and this catching it into a conveyor and sending it straight into this refinery. After the refinery, then it'll go into the delivery cannon. It'll give us cash automatically. So as long as we're in a close proximity to this, it should be always pumping cash towards us, except when you run out from your veins. Alright, the other important piece here to remember, and this process really takes a different step for the best, is this pacemaker here, GSO pacemaker. What you can do with this pacemaker is set the pace or set the speed to which you're mining, right? Or to which you're crafting or do anything in this conveyors, basically. So you can set it to turbo speed and it'll make it much quicker. You can set it to normal, to slow. If you're like crafting stuff and you need a second, you can pause it. It's very convenient for when you're crafting. So I recommend you guys pick one up if you're gonna start doing what I'm doing here. All right, everything to inventory. Let's send you to inventory. A tree just attacked us. So what we want to do first is kinda set up our delivery cannon. We're going to set it up in a way where it's kind of convenient to reach all these points. We don't want to make one that's too large because at the end of the day we do have to defend this area as well because bots will come in and try to attack it. And really these things are pretty weak. So what we're going to do is we set up the delivery cannon. We're going to set up a small conveyor to it. And off that conveyor we're going to go straight into our refinery. So why am I doing this right off the bat? Because I don't want any resources going in here that are not refined beforehand. So it's very important that we do a refinery first, right off the bat. We want to get these large resource receivers. You can also use a small resource receiver. It's all the same. The large one just carries a little bit more range and the small one obviously is a smaller range. So we're just going to attach them everywhere. You can already see it's doing work. And attach it there. Alright, we're already getting a ton of gold. So pretty satisfying stuff. That's probably good enough for now. So guys, I hope you learned a lot in this episode. I hope you'd enjoy this. I will continue doing an episode like this if I see positive feedback, so please don't forget to show some love. Write some comments down below on what you think. If you have more questions for the next episode, don't forget to like and subscribe. Catch me on Twitch every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 8 p.m. Central Time. You guys enjoy and have a good night.